Hello and welcome to Betfred South Africa's YouTube channel. This is a Diski preview show, and as you know, every day, in fact every Friday, we do release a video just so you can stay in touch with what's coming up in terms of football fixtures, and we also give you some of the biggest games in world football. Today we have a big one on our hands. We've got some local football in the DSTV Premiership, we've got some CAF Champions League football, which is now knockout phases, and we also got some international football when we look at Barcelona taking on Athletico Madrid, that's taking place in La Liga in Spain. Now here on the Betfred YouTube channel, we want to thank you for your engagement. We want to thank you for your support by subscribing, liking and commenting. We'd like to encourage you to keep it up because we're about to start introducing competitions to this platform. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come and join Betfred South Africa. It's as easy as hitting subscribe and leaving a comment and a like below. Make sure that you do that before you move on to watch the rest of the video. Now let me tell you, Betfred has now released a brand new look and feel on the Betfred website, and I just wanted to share that with you. So when you go to betfred.co.za and you see some changes, you're not shocked. You're like, whoa, this is a different website. No, this is the correct website, and this is how it looks. Right, we start today's conversation off by looking at what's happening in the CAF Champions League, and yes, Mamelodi Sundowns are still in the competition. They are the DSTV Premiership champions, but their journey in Africa continues. Their journey continues alongside Al Ahly of Egypt, Raja Casablanca of Morocco, also in the knockout phases. Kebile and Esperance Tunis are be facing each other in these knockout phases, and we also have Wydad Casablanca taking on Simba. But our focus is going to start off with Belouzidad, who are going to be taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. Mr. E, I believe you have some thoughts for us.
Yes, I do have some thoughts. I think it's going to be an interesting game that's going to be played at Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algeria this time around, not in South Africa. I think it's going to be an emotional. I think it's a game that's got an emotional connotation because I've been being South African and playing in a stadium called named after the great man Nelson Mandela. It's going to be something else. But I think. Mamelodi Sundowns, they must try and play the game and not the occasion, and not be overcome by any emotional or emotions, so that they can win the game. They definitely have to meet the game, considering the fact that Al Ahly is still there despite being beaten 5-2 in Pretoria some time back. So they just have to make sure that they win this one.
All right, the game is going to be quite a big one. Let's talk about the head-to-head history between these two sides. Mamelodi Sundowns did lose out to Belouzidad the last time they met. That was back in 2021. But don't forget, in that very same time, Mamelodi Sundowns had won the first leg 5-1 with Belouzidad picking up a red card. So they didn't necessarily need to pick up a result in that game. So even if they lost by 2-0, the result still ended as 5-3 on aggregate. So they come again to the knockout phase of the CAF Champions League, and it's going to be quite an interesting one. Mr. E, Belouzidad, let's start off with Mamelodi Sundowns. They have been far from themselves when it comes to domestic competition. They've been struggling to pick up results, and it's been evident when you look at the last few games they've played. They've been picking up draws and losses in the domestic game. Do you think that this form will carry over into the CAF Champions League, or because this is now a knockout tie, they will start getting the act up together?
That's my worry. I think the last 4 games I think we've experienced, or rather they've played half-hearted. We've seen half-hearted performances from them, which is a cause for concern. But we must understand and remember that they are well traveled in terms of playing across the African continent. I think what's his name, Umlogisi can come up with something so that they can beat the Sierra Belouzidad in Algiers.
Sierra Belouzidad also come into this game not in the best of form. They have 2 draws and 1 loss in their last 3 games. So it's 2 teams that are struggling for form right now. So I'm going to give it straight to you and ask you, what is your prediction for this game?
My prediction, I'll go with Abasandawana. Abasandawana are going to take this one. We definitely need them in the final, and I hope they won't meet Al Ahly. We don't want them to revenge.
I don't want history to repeat itself.
Definitely.
Right.
But I'm going to give this one here to Mamelodi Sundowns. They'll definitely win the tie.
That's where Mr. E leaves it for now. Don't forget, we do have a new look and feel website, and if you want to go check it out, go to betfred.co.za. We already showed you a glimpse of how it looks, so go see it for yourself. Right, welcome back to the Diski Preview Show. Our conversation continues. We take the journey now from the CAF Champions League into the CAF Confederations Cup, where Pyramids are going to be facing our very own local stars in Marumo Gallants. Now, you need to understand that this is going to be a big game in any measure of the imagination. And Mr. E, can you tell us why this game is so important for Marumo Gallants?
Well, it's important right now. I think you know what, they've had a busy schedule of late. I mean, they've been in and out of the country as they were playing the CAF Confederations matches, and at the same time they had to come back to the country and try and pull themselves out of relegation, of which they've done convincingly.
Well.
Yeah, they are now on position number 13. But it's a big one for Marumo Gallants. If they win, I think it's the first time that they've gone this far in this competition as Marumo Gallants. Yeah. So it's going to be a big one if we're going to have two South African teams progressing to the next round of matches after when they're done with this round.
Usually when we go into the head-to-head, we look at how many times the teams have met each other. But for Marumo Gallants and Pyramids, this is the very first time these two teams are going to be meeting each other on the continental stage. So the only thing we can look at is just recent form. And you're looking at the last 3 for Pyramids. They come into this game after losing out 2-1 to Al Ahly. That was in the Egypt Cup. And then they went on to the Egyptian Premier League and they did win the 2 games. And they won them very convincingly, a 3-0 and a 2-0 result. Do you think that they'll take that form into this game? And will the threat of goals be a big threat for Marumo Gallants? As you can see, they scored 5 goals in 2 games, so they'll be trying to continue that form.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Pyramids will want to score as many goals as possible when playing at home, because they know that it's going to be a little bit difficult to score goals when they come to South Africa for the return leg of the fixture. So you know what, they are so pacey. Their strikers are full of running. So it's going to be a tough assignment for Marumo Gallants having to play in Egypt. I think it's for the very first time, and you know how they fill up the stadiums when they're playing in these competitions. So it's not going to be an easy one for Marumo Gallants to win. But you know what, I do have trust in them. They can pull up a surprise, definitely.
Right, Mr. E says he has some faith in them. But Mr. E, for those of us that don't speak your fancy English, can you put it into plain English? Are you going with Marumo Gallants or are you going with Pyramids?
I'm going with Marumo Gallants.
All right, Mr. E is going with Marumo Gallants. If you two also want to lock in your bet, just go to betfred.co.za. When you arrive, click on the sports, and then you can go check out the odds that we have for tomorrow's game. I'll also put them somewhere here for you guys to click on and see where you can place your bets from there. So, but for now, let's go check out our next game. Right, our journey continues by taking a look at local football, domestic football as they will call it around the world, whenever it's taking place in their own country. This one's taking place in our own backyard. Sekhukhune United is going to be taking on Kaizer Chiefs, and this takes place on Sunday at around 3 o'clock midday. So I know for a fact our stores are going to be packed. People are going to be coming in to watch this one. Maybe I might join you guys. 1680. 1680 actually is my hood. 1632. Can I say it right? But that's just no, 1632 buffet. I know the codes. So as maybe Sohlangana Corner, Mr. E, where are you going to be watching this game from?
I'll be watching this game from Ganana in Hammanskraal. And by the way, I'd like to congratulate our 1 million rand winner in Hammanskraal. Hopefully he's coming from Ganana. If it's not Ganana, maybe Post Plus or maybe Kekana Gardens.
You'll find out more figure
but when I get there, I'll try to ask a few guys there, did you see any new millionaire or someone who bought a brand new car?
Right, Mr. E, let's talk about the game. It's going to be quite an interesting one. First of all, Sekhukhune, they have not suffered a loss in the last 5 games. Kaizer Chiefs have also not suffered a loss in the last 7 games. Let's talk about this one. Who do you think is going to be your team?
Yeah, this is quite an interesting one because these are two of the semi-finalists in the Nedbank Cup. But I think when they meet on Sunday, it's going to be a different ball game altogether because they are gunning for the 3 points. With Kaizer Chiefs trying to stay with the leading 4 teams. Because if they win on Sunday against Sekhukhune, they will go to second position tied with SuperSport United. But if SuperSport does not win and Orlando Pirates, so it's quite an important game for Kaizer Chiefs to try and stay within that pack of 4.
Right, if you look at the history between these two sides, the last 3 games did end in favor of Kaizer Chiefs. In fact, 2 of them ended in favor of Kaizer Chiefs, while 1 was in favor of Sekhukhune United. The one that actually Kaizer Chiefs lost was the one that took place in 2023, which is this year on the 7th of January. Do you think that there's still memories and scars from that result? Do you think that Kaizer Chiefs go in there and Sekhukhune believes in the dressing room that we can go on and repeat what we did in January?
Yeah. You see, Sekhukhune, it's made up of mostly former Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates players who would find it very interesting to play against Kaizer Chiefs, and they know Kaizer Chiefs very well. So it's quite an interesting one, and Sekhukhune is going to fancy his chances of beating Kaizer Chiefs on this one. So that makes it interesting as a dress rehearsal, just in case Kaizer Chiefs progresses to the final in Nedbank. Sekhukhune does the same thing on the other side. So it's quite interesting to see how things are going to pan out there on Sunday.
All right, Kaizer Chiefs had a great result against Royal AM, but let's just remind everybody that it was a close call after Royal AM did take the lead. And after you, Mr. E, said that Royal AM might go on to win that one.
Yes.
But Sekhukhune United on their side, they managed to knock out Chippa United. Now, from a Kaizer Chiefs camp point of view, they have not suffered a loss in their last 7, and we need to go all the way back to February of this year on the 19th to the last loss they suffered. That was against Golden Arrows. Do you think that this confidence that's come from a run of wins and draws is actually going to spill into the end of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I think they've this year Kaizer Chiefs has done very well. You have seen over the past few seasons whereby they've battled to be in the top 4, they've battled to be in top 8. But this time around, I think they want the second spot. So they are coming with guns blazing. They definitely need to get as many points as possible to end up on number 2, which is so that they can qualify to go and play on the African continent.
Yeah, as you can see right now at this moment in time, let me just give you a brief understanding of how the league table looks. Mamelodi Sundowns are sitting on 62 points. They have not picked up a win in their last 3 games, and they just picked up a loss now in the Nedbank Cup, which they puts their form under dismal repute right now. SuperSports United are sitting on 44 points. Behind them is Orlando Pirates, and Kaizer Chiefs are sitting in the 4th spot with 41 points to their name. Very fantastic for them because they can still turn this around, but they need to get past Orlando Pirates and SuperSports United. That's what we've got for now. So, Mr. E, what is your prediction when it comes to this one? Obviously, the people at home want to know.
I'm a Kosi for life. I'll give this one to Kaizer Chiefs. Definitely. They will
have you heard of the commentator's curse?
Oh I know about I've heard of the commentator's curse, right? But it's not going to apply to this.
You sure?
It will apply to the other games.
You sure?
Not this one.
Not this one. Right, you heard it here from Mr. E. It's up to you if you're going to place your bet on this team or not. But all I'll say is that, have you heard of the commentator's curse? When the commentator says one thing and another thing happens, hey, gotta be careful with that one. But Kaizer Chiefs, let's hope you will do the right thing and win away from home against Sekhukhune United. Right, welcome back to the Diski preview show. As you can see, we're in a jolly good mood because this weekend we've got all the action coming your way. Orlando Pirates are going to be playing Cape Town City. That is our next fixture to look at. Now, this is 3rd versus 5th in the DSTV Premiership, and most importantly, looking at the overall history of this fixture, it's looked like quite a balanced affair. We have a win for Orlando Pirates, a win for Cape Town City, and 2 draws between them, which kind of puts us in a good mood when it comes to this game. Orlando Pirates won their last meeting between... In fact, Orlando Pirates lost the last meeting between these 2 teams. They lost it by 2-1 that took place on the 7th of January 2023, and now they meet on the 22nd of March 2023 of April, sorry. And Mr. E, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, Cape Town City is coming across an Orlando Pirates team that is on song lately. I mean, since they last lost the game to was it Kaizer Chiefs by a goal to 0, I think they've done very well, and it looks promising that they're going to win. They will take this one, and remember they're the holders of the MTN Cup.
Yes,
that's something that they have in their cabinet to show for the year 2023, and they are also the semi-finalists for the Nedbank Cup. It's another cup loading for them. I think they're coming into this game here full of confidence that they're doing very well, of which they have been doing very well anyway. But Cape Town City, on the other hand, I think they've been quiet in going about with their business, and right now they are knocking in the top 4. I think they're in position number 5, and there's only 6 points, which is about 2 games separating them with Kaizer Chiefs. So if Kaizer Chiefs slips up here, or Orlando Pirates and Cape Town City continues with their with their quest to be in the top 4, they might be able to get into the top 4.
Right. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this one takes place, but let me just give you a couple of some history on how this fixture has been built up. We have Orlando Pirates taking on Dondo Stars. That game ended in a 1-1 draw. Yeah. Orlando Pirates had to take it to penalties to be able to make it to the next round of the Nedbank Cup. But on the other side, when you look at Cape Town City, they drew their last game against AmaZulu. So both these teams coming into this game on the back of draws. But just to note this, for Cape Town City, it's not been quite a good ride. They drew against AmaZulu 2-2. They drew against Sundowns 0-0. And then they went on to draw against Marumo Gallants 2-2 again. The last time they picked up a win was against Maritzburg United. But those wins came 3 wins in a row. They managed to beat Sekhukhune United, and they also beat Swallows, where that game had a remarkable 3+ red cards in that game. Yeah. So it's going to be quite an interesting one here, Mr. E. But just to wrap it up for us, I mean, your thoughts obviously are for Orlando Pirates to go and win this game. Yeah. But do you not see a little bit of a surprise coming from Cape Town City, especially with the form they've been in?
There might be a surprise. I'm looking at an Orlando Pirates team that has the Saleng factor. Saleng has done very well. I think he scored something like 9 goals in 17. I think we need to confirm that. And then the second person, who is Juka Manja, scored only 4. So most of the goals are coming from Saleng. So if Saleng does not click, or when they come across Cape Town City can take advantage of that. I mean, they've got the potential goal scorers like Ukhanyi Samayo, Ukadlokes. I think they call him Ukadlokes.
Yes, Ukadlokes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think if I think the game will be one between Munapule Saleng and what's his name, Ukhanyi Samayo. If Saleng comes to the party and scores or creates goals as he normally does, that's going to be a big factor in determining where the 3 points go to when they meet on Sunday, I think.
But do you think that Munapula Saleng's future is now brighter because of this the season he's had with with Orlando Pirates? He's been a goal scorer in a couple of games. He scored against Maritzburg United. He scored a hat-trick against the Moroka Swallows. He also scored against Richards Bay. He's been quite the phenomenal player here. He even made a feature, or he was all called up to the South African national team, and he was on the bench for the game against Liberia, the second game that is. Yes, the second game, that is. The first game he did start for that one. So his stock is currently on the rise. Do you think that with where he is right now as a player, Orlando Pirates can kiss him goodbye by the end of the season?
I wouldn't think they'll let him go for now, because remember they've just received back Tembiko Siloch from a long spell of an injury.
Yes.
I think for now they will need to take a look at how they can set up before they can let him go. But I haven't heard of any serious offers for him. I mean, to Orlando Pirates. So definitely, I think next day he's going to be there, and definitely Orlando Pirates needs him, because from the time that he started firing on all cylinders here, Pirates has managed to stabilize and come back to life
and
get results. Of which the problem that they had was goals, and he scored quite a lot of goals for Orlando Pirates. So they would rather have him in their camp than let him go at this time of the season. All
right, just to paint a picture for you at home, don't forget that Peter Shalulile is our top goal scorer in the DSTV Premiership with 11 goals. Bradley Grobler is sitting on 10 goals. Those are the only 2 players in South African football that are on double digits that play in the DSTV Premiership. And then Cassius Mailula sitting on 9 goals alongside Munapula Saleng and Ranga Chivar. Is that Chivaviro? Yes, Renga Chivaviro. Yes. Those are all the players that are sitting in the top 5 of goal scorers in the DSTV Premiership. So, Mr. E, for those at home, just give them that last prediction. You are going with Orlando Pirates for this game. He's going to go with Orlando Pirates for this game. Make sure, if you also want to log in your best, to go to betfred.co.za and do so before the game kicks off. And also, if you wanted to cash out before the game is over, we do have the cash out special that is just available for you to be able to go on, click cash out just before the game ends. So save it before, you know what I'm saying, things go under. You know that came in handy if you were betting on Arsenal over the last 2 games.
Because and also Manchester United, when they're leading 2-0, were against Sevilla. You know when a team is leading 2-0 and the opposite team scores 1, anything can happen now. You just need to use that button, the cash out button. I needed to cash out the Champions League one, because I bet on Bayern Munich to win the Champions League. But then I saw that draw against City, I was like, hey, maybe I can stick on a little bit. Coming to the second game, I see Maguire, Obamakano, I'm like, oh.
No, I pull out. No,
Really. Yeah, you're like pressing like 15 times just to make sure that.
Even if that says your money's back, you're like, no, still, I gotta make sure.
I just have to make sure. I need to catch up now. Get out now.
All right, let's see what the last fixture we have on offer for today. For now, that is all we got for you with Orlando Pirates versus
Cape Town City. That's right.
Much for joining us here on the Diski Preview Show. Mr. E and myself have gone through local football. We've covered it from Mzansi to the continent, from Kaizer Chiefs to Mamelodi Sundowns to Wabona. You name it, we got it covered.
Orlando Pirates.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't say Orlando Pirates, Chief.
No,
you can't do that. All right, let's carry on the conversation and take it all the way to Spain. And some international football is what we need to cover. We're just talking a little bit about European football, but we'll let it go for now and go straight into La Liga. Now, obviously, the game to talk about is a big one. It's Athletico Madrid versus Barcelona. Mr. E, your thoughts, please.
It's actually Barcelona versus... Oh, yeah. Barcelona is the one that's playing at home. Yes, Barcelona playing at home. Yeah, I think I think it's a chance for Barcelona to shake off a three-game winless streak. I mean, they haven't been playing very well of late after playing the Copa del Rey against Real Madrid, and they're coming against an Athletico Madrid that wants to catch up with Real Madrid. I think there's only a difference of what 2 points. 2 points, yeah. So if they manage to win this game, they will be able to go to second place. And every year Athletico Madrid has always been a contender for second spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
The impressive thing is, first and foremost, I mean, Barcelona are currently leading the table by just 11 points. They are on 73, while Real Madrid, the closest team to them, are on 62. A win for Atletico Madrid will slow down, first and foremost, Barcelona, who've already suffered 2 draws in a row. It'll now slow them down to a point where this title race starts to get interesting. So we don't know if Barcelona's trying to wait for everyone else to catch up or what's going on, but that's the kind of case they're currently in. Now let's talk about Barcelona's form. Obviously, those 2 draws came against Getafe and Girona. Not quite impressive opponents to be drawing against, especially when you're trying to win the title. That loss against Real Madrid, I think it disturbed the rhythm of Barcelona, because it was a 4-0 loss for them.
It was. But remember, this time around, there will be what's his name, Lewandowski. He will be coming into the picture, and Lewandowski has scored quite a number of goals for them. I think is one factor that has been missing in all the games that they've gone on to draw after the Copa del Rey. So is one factor that we need to consider when they come against Atletico Madrid on Sunday, I think.
It's going to be a big one. And starting off with Atletico Madrid, from my perspective, Atletico Madrid, a team that has always been considered to be the third, from the Pride. When you look at them and their history, I mean, they when you look at the run where Real Madrid won 3 UEFA Champions League titles in a row, the first one was won against Atletico Madrid, the second one was Juventus, the third one was Liverpool. But the surprising thing is that Atletico Madrid always find themselves in the situation where they're close, but they're not close enough. And this season again, they'll find themselves in that situation again. They're the closest from the rest, but they're not really crossing the line. Do you think that we can expect them to go on and disappoint us in this game and maybe lose or draw?
I think they might lose this game here because on one hand, Barcelona definitely needs to bounce back to winning ways after drawing those 2 games there. So we're looking at the Barcelona that definitely needs the 3 points, not necessarily to beat Atletico Madrid, but to cement their position at first spot. So it's going to be a very, very highly contested affair between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, as one team seeks to cement this position while Atletico Madrid needs the 3 points so that it can now move into second spot, way ahead of Real Madrid. So it's going to be a big one to watch out for this weekend.
All right, so that's where we want to leave it for now. So Mr. E is going to be saying that his prediction is
Barcelona
to go win the game. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Diski Preview Show. Don't forget to hit the join button down there in the description, and also visit some of our other social media pages and follow and like. We also all have competitions and specials running all the time. All the time. So if you're not going to participate, so make sure that you are going to check that out. And last but not least, keep a close eye on this channel, as we'll be bringing competitions and specials directly to YouTube. So if you are following us on the Betfred South Africa on YouTube, you should keep a very close eye because we'll be launching a new competition soon.
The Betfred promise is value for money, friendly service and fast payments. When you choose to bet, Betfred.